Come join me as I recreate my mom's old kimono picture. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Yasna, I'm Malaysian, I'm Japanese and Caribbean. So most Japanese people's hair is straight, but mine's pretty curly. So I wanted to do a little bit something different than what I traditionally saw. I decided to wear my hair up and also, make sure the curls were popping so you could see my face clearly, but also you could see my hair and my curl pattern. Next, did my eyebrows, did some makeup. I don't really know makeup, guys, so I'm not a makeup guru. So we're just gonna skip past this. It looks good enough, that's what I'll say. Yep, look at those brows. And we're ready to go. First tried the tabi. The sock is a little tight, but we made it work. Then I put on the haragi, which is like the undergarment, under the undergarment, under the undergarment, under the undergarment. There's so many layers of the kimono. It's really, really amazing. Knowing how to fit a kimono on someone is such an art because there's just so many metaphorical and actual layers that you need to really make sure that every single detail is correct. And I barely know how to dress myself, so it was such an honor to work with Masako-san. Yeah, just see how it's done. I've watched this video many times just to edit it, and I've seen it enough times to know that I cannot replicate this, at least by myself. ポップスターも知ってるかも。本当？そう。あ、そうそうそう。うまくかね。For context, I was trying to figure out who was singing in the background, but I grew up listening to a lot of what my mom listened to, which was ua or chara. Anyways, back to the kimono. Alright, where was I? So, when you wear the kimono, it lies pretty flat on your chest, and this towel is just meant to even it out, flatten, any curves. Also, it is the winter time, so I'm very glad to have any extra layers because I get cold very easily. So from this, there's going to be a lot of things are tied around me, especially around my waist. So this padding just helps make it feel a lot more comfortable. Right now they're talking about tea ceremonies. So apparently there is, as Masako-san is saying, she will also teach people who are doing their own tea ceremonies how to fit their kimono. So here you see me putting on the kimono. Psych. This is another layer of undergarment. So this is called the nagajubon, and this is another undergarment. Also to note the importance of having the flatness, right? So if you look at a lot of clothes that you wear, they're probably fitted. So fitted to, whatever curvature of your body. The kimono is cut straight. So instead of fitting the kimono to our body, we are actually fitting, or I am fitting my body to the kimono. The kimono is very thin and it's two-dimensional, so to ensure that there's no weird lines or anything, it's always helpful to have this. So that's why there's so much undergarment. So as beautiful as this undergarment is, you're not actually supposed to see any of it in the final production. Now we are finally adding the final touch, chef's kiss. This is the kimono. Even though this will be the last, giant piece of cloth that will be tied around me, there will be plenty of other things that will be tied around me, especially around my waist. And we haven't even gotten to the obi yet. So I'm not gonna pretend to know what she's doing. I'm not gonna front. It looks cool, it looks necessary. And edited to a good final product. So, I was just trusting her process, just chilling, just vibing. It is one thing that is funny to see is how small the Japanese community is. But because we are so small, we are so mighty. We've never met before, but we already have mutual friends. Being Japanese American definitely has its pros and cons. I'm obviously very appreciative of the community and also appreciative of my family who loves me very much on both my Japanese and my Trinidadian sides. Oh, also the giant belt. That's not the purple one, that's not the red one. That's called the obi, and she's actually also tied it in the back that you'll see in the very end. Next thing you want to see this very thin purple string. So that is called the obijime that she's tying right now. The light purple that is tied above the obi is the obiage. Omiage is gift, and obiage is what is tied around me. So remember the difference. The whole time I was racking my brain trying to figure out who these artists were. The only pop star that I know that is current right now is Hikaru Utada. I really like Crystal K and Ayaka. So right now you see Masako-san hard at work. She is tying the obi, and you'll definitely be happy to see how it looks because it came out really stunning. At first, when I did not know what was happening, all I heard was my mom and my aunt being like, wow, 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 amazing, amazing. And I'm like, what's going on? Of course, it's very different as mediums, but I feel like the philosophy of, how this kimono was tied versus how I was taught how to fold origami, which is a Japanese paper folding art, is very similar. The first folds, even if you may not see it at the final product, are probably one of the most important in building a strong foundation. Making sure the details that aren't seen are taken with as much care as the details that are seen.
私もいろいろ考えてみました。やっちゃんのこうスラッとしたね体型に合うの何がいいかなと思って。それで写真ってことだったんですね。そうそう。一応ねイメージがねあるからやっぱりね小柄でちっちゃい人だったらちょっと違う帯結びやったりとか。すごいアーティスト。アートですよ。アートです本当。アートなんですよ。感動。ありがとう。そう言ってもらえて嬉しいです。自分で考えるんですか。大体型ってことはないけど、何種類かね、自分の持ちネタがある中で、そうどんなんがね似合う入るかなと思って。ね、帯でもちょっとねこうやってシャープな感じにして。
So the style that I am wearing is called the furisode, and very more specifically, it's the mama furisode. So as it implies, the mama in the furisode. So it is my mom's kimono that I'm wearing. So my mom wore this kimono during her Seijinnshiki, which is like a coming of age ceremony. And although she was not able to attend, she got the kimono and then she got the pictures. Typically, what happens is people, it traditionally used to be age 20, hatachi, but now I believe the government has now changed the legal age of the coming of age ceremony to 18. But pretty much there's a whole celebration where the local mayor will give a speech. There'll be a general greeting, and then maybe one of the people who are turning coming of age will also give another speech. So it's like a really great celebration that is celebrated by each town, and each town will do it a little differently. Historically, there was the coming of age ceremony for men, which is the genbuku. So the Seijinnshiki was created after that, but for women in Japan. My mom did her Seijinnshiki when she was 19 years old.
とね、お祝い事や
And oh, drum roll, please.
来ました。すごい、すごい、すごい。写真撮れる。さあ、今ビデオに映ってるかも。一周してもらって。
すごいじゃん。
で、振り袖っていうか着物っていうのは大体横にねタック取ってるので、あんまりこう万歳しないで、万歳するときはできるだけこういう感じが綺麗と思います。そうそうそう。ちょっとこう肘を体につけた状態。こうよりも。
ああ、はい。
すごいね、あんたの着物ってこんなに良かったね。
よかったね。
That's my auntie in the background. Or she just told my mom, I didn't know your kimono looked this good. And after many undergarments, just finished my fitting for my kimono.
本当素晴らしいです。感動。
Had so much fun today, learned so much about my culture and my history, and just got to spend time with my family. お母さんがママ振り袖を私のために取ってくれて本当に感謝しています。